The Sydney Football Stadium is the venue for this game in round 23 of the Telstra Premiership. It's the Sydney Roosters taking on the visiting Melbourne Storm. Let's take a look at both teams as they'll line up this afternoon. The Roosters have a number of changes. Chris Flannery will move to fullback and Trent Clayton comes into the side for the injured Luke Phillips. And there is also one change on the bench with Adrian Morley coming into the team for Jamie Russo. For the Melbourne Storm, they also have one change with Junior Lange coming in for Aaron Moole, who was out of the side with an ankle injury, and their coach is Mark Murray. Will be the Melbourne Storm defending the southern end of the football stadium in this first half. Sean Hampstead is our referee in his 122nd game this afternoon. He blows time on, and it is Orford who gets us underway. Comes down to Flannery, who gives it off.
Come on, let him up. Here we are, Melbourne. Here we are now. Hold, fellas, hold. Behind me, come on, hold.
Benetti. Strong tackle over the top from Danny Williams on Luke Ricketson. Spoke about Danny Williams before the game with Mark Murray. A valuable member of this side he has been, Andrew Lomu. With a previous hit up as Fittler cuts back across the ruck area. Driven backwards. Intense start from the Melbourne defensive side.
Yeah, it's a great start there by Melbourne, getting off their line. The Roosters look to be using the ball. It's a big day for Craig Wing, played halfback last weekend. Handled the job very well. His kicking game is vitally important, takes a lot of pressure off Craig Field. We mentioned the kicking game, his first kick of the afternoon has gone out on the full. And that's the start that the Storm are looking to create a chance straight away.
And they'll have it from just 20 metres out.
Yeah, on the line, fellas, on the line.
Almost right in front of the posts. Orford.
Danny. Yep.
With the play the ball on the turnover, and Robbie Kearns goes forward. Great chance for the Storm here to open the scoring up this afternoon. Kearney now. Ambling up towards them, went a long way as well, just a body length short of the try line. Swain at dummy half. Comes to Howe, who hands it off to Warford. 3 on 2, in fact, a 4 on 2. The pass goes to Stephen Bell, and that was way too easy for the Storm.
You talk about starts in a game of rugby league. Melbourne Storm, in a minute and a half, put a 4-pointer on the board. It was great work by their forwards. The Roosters had compressed their defensive line. But it all came about by Craig Wing. Last tackle options, left foot is not his preferred foot, kicking the ball out. You can see the line compressed. Howe just giving a short ball onto Orford. Orford to Matt Geyer. Geyer, a lovely ball to Bell. We thought Bell might have dropped it. He grabbed it on the second go and scores in the corner.
Because that was the pass by Rodney Howe. A lot of people expect him to hit the ball up. He knew that it was on out wide. Good pass. Geyer, nice long pass to Bell. A little bit of a juggle. Not a problem in the end. Very good start for the Storm.
Struck well by Orford, but across the face of goal. The Melbourne Storm, they will play from in front here this afternoon. 4 points to 0. They lead the Roosters. We've had just over 3 minutes at the football stadium. Graham Murray will be hoping for a complete reversal from the first couple of sets of 6 we saw, both in attack and defence from the Roosters. Long kick out from Crocker. And it's Kearns who brings it back. Marcus Bye off the wing, met by the reception committee there of Fitzgibbon and also Benetti. Williams, one off the ruck. Had support but took them on. And he'll play a 25 out from his own line as Rodney Howe runs a long way before he gets to the Roosters' defence again. Benetti was there to stop him. Williams turns it back on the inside for Robbie Ross. Where the hole there was for the fullback closed very quickly through Cusack. Orford with the kick. Reaching very nicely was Flannery. Just inside his 20, he took it. And then again, Williams will be called out this time, though. Second big hit in the game from the lock forward.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. You've come up and you hit him high. You've got to keep him down, right? Keep him right down.
Put a great hit on Luke Ricketson in the first set of 6 to open the game, and has come up with a similar tackle here on Flannery.
Well, I thought that was just a good hit. Danny Williams, he certainly adds a lot of aggression to this Melbourne Storm forward pack. He was coming off the bench at the start of the year, forced his way into the team. I'm sure that's what his coach is looking for, to inspire his teammates in defence.
Second ball on the field here. Well, there was a halt to play as Lomu will play it. Hegarty going from dummy half, beat the first line of defence. Swain came across in cover to stop him. Wing comes to Fittler, chipping over the top, looking for Minicello, who got a great bounce as well, away from Robbie Ross, and the Roosters have replied.
You got a video? You confident?
Sean Hampstead doesn't need to go to the video referee. A lovely kick over the top from Fittler. Minicello got a great bounce. A one hopper hit him right on the chest, and he scored to tie it up at 4.
Well, they've done this a few times this season. They look to go wide. Therefore, the Melbourne Storm winger, Marcus Bai, cannot drop back expecting a kick. They look as though they're going to use the football instead. Fittler just pops it over. And what a lovely bounce to Minicello. Should have been taken there by Robbie Ross, but his leg drive got him out of the tackle. That's a wonderful comeback by the Roosters.
Well, it certainly is, and it's a marvellous kick. I don't know whether it went exactly where Laurie Daly, a nice kick. It didn't go exactly where Brad Fittler wanted to, but Minicello, he was there on the spot, accepted a perfect bounce, and Robbie Ross, well, there wasn't too much he could do, I suppose. Minicello very quick, and he fell off the tackle, but that was a great start again. A great comeback by the Roosters.
They certainly needed it after the kick out on the full, which led directly to the Melbourne Storm try through Stephen Bell. Tap on the shoulder there for Marcus Bai, but really turning around, he wasn't going to be able to catch Minicello, who was pouring onto it. Robbie Ross had a decent shot at him, but couldn't stop the flying winger. And now Fitzgibbon, who has a 50% success rate from this position on the field, goes very close to adding the extra 2. It just shaved the left hand upright. And after 7 minutes, we've got a 4-all scoreline here at the football stadium.
Yeah, it was a great play there by the Roosters. Brad Fittler just putting the ball in behind the line. Marcus Bai has got a tendency to rush out of the line when he doesn't have to. That time he was just up with his centre partner. Fittler just sensing that maybe Bai was looking to jump in. He just put it over the top, and a lovely bounce from Minicello.
The thing about it, it's always going to put a little bit of pressure on Marcus Bai now. He's going to have second thoughts as to whether to come up or stay back, and that's going to open it up even wider for the Roosters back line. And maybe on the last tackle, you may see them tend to run the ball a little more.
Singh playing it back to Flannery. The Storm up inside the 10.
You're going too early. You're going too early, Stephen Carney. You're going too early, mate.
The Roosters will find touch inside Melbourne Storm territory, a long way as well. Terrific kick by Craig Wing. He picked up something like 35 metres. And they'll be just outside the 30 when they tap it. Wing, short ball on to Lomu. Fittler at first receiver, spends a lot of time there for the Roosters. Cusack tackled by Williams just outside the 20. Bonetti changing back to the blind side. Fitzgibbon comes back to the open now. Fittler to Wing. Running, looking for a space. He doesn't need much of a space to work in. Ross got to him, but only just. Fast play the ball to Crocker, wrapped up by Kearney. Still a couple of tackles left. Once again, Bonetti at first receiver this time. Comes away to Flannery, who's up into the back line. Cusack will turn it back to Fitzgibbon, and this time he goes with the crossfield bomb. Not a bad one either. Getting there and coming down with it was Crocker.
I'm fairly happy with this, Graham. Paul's playing a player might have been taken out in back play.
He flew like he was a Sydney Swan playing next door at the SCG. He got up above the pack and came down with it cleanly.
Well, if it's a try, it's great work by Michael Crocker. Fitzgibbon, he's not the man that you expect to be kicking the ball on last tackle for the Roosters. It's a sensational bomb where you want it, near the post. and he out-leaps Marcus by, and that should be a try.
Well, it was a good kick, as you mentioned, right near the goal post, and this is great agility by a second rower to leap that high, because the question being asked is whether the Melbourne Storm player was actually taken out of play. I tend to think there was no major problem there. So I think we will see Green TRY come up on screen.
Graham West agrees, and the Roosters have quickly hit the lead here after trailing 4-0 after just a couple of minutes. 8 points to 4 in favour of the Roosters now, with a kick to come from almost in front from Fitzgibbon. It should be an even 6 that they lead by in just a few moments.
It was great work by Craig Wing, getting his opportunity in the number 7 jump up. Played very well last weekend, man of the match against the Brisbane Broncos. Quick play the ball, and then Fitzgibbon, the man putting the ball up. But great work, as Brett Kenny said, by the back rower, Crocker. Good agility to get off the ground, out-leap Marcus by. This is the start that the Roosters wanted.
Fitzgibbon adds the extra 2, and it's 10-4 here at the football stadium. The Roosters over the Storm. 3 tries in the opening 10 minutes.
It's been a problem for them in the last couple of weeks, the Storm. Last tackle options.
Hegarty running away from dummy half, but he met Matt Rua. Rather, it was Fafita Moala out there. Terrific front-on tackle from the winger. Might have been having some lessons from Matt Rua, who's an expert at the front-on style. Ross fields it back down near his own try line. Bring it almost back to the 20. Robbie Kearns. Captain carts it forward for a gain of about 8. Play the ball away reasonably quickly. Howe gives it to Warford, and then Kearney slips in behind them as well. They're away again. He's got Geyer with him. He can't get away from Minicello. Spinning, whirling, fires a pass taken by Stephen Bell magnificently, but it was forward.
Well, I was wondering what Matt Geyer was doing. Obviously, he struggles to pass from left to right. He actually pirouetted and turned around and then threw a massive ball to his right. Watch him here. Instead of just passing now, goes the other way. That's his favourite side. And unfortunately for him, the ball goes forward. Bell would have been in for his second try.
Abernethy. Changes for the Melbourne Storm. Peter Robinson does come on. Robbie Kearns, the captain, gets the break for the moment. A warm afternoon here in Sydney for a winter's afternoon. Fittler. Away to Crocker. He was wrapping around the back of him looking for a return pass, but he didn't get one. Here he is working it to Ricketson from dummy half, chipping over the top. A ball in between everybody. Minicello got a foot to it. Vine knocked it on. This will be play on. Ricketson played it off the boot. All the composure in the world. He's just outside the Melbourne Storm 20. There was no need to hurry. Now they've got them stretched. Fittler almost lost it. Fitzgibbon stepping back inside. Matt Guy's attempted tackle. They won't stop him. He's there for the Roosters. He propped off the left foot, beat Matt Geyer at point blank. Geyer knows it. And they've extended this lead to 10 points.
Well, they've had a lot of success so far with a short kicking game, the Roosters, in behind Marcus Bai. That time it was Minicello putting the ball forward. Bai tries to gather, loses the football. And then from the next set, the next play, they go wide. They look to shift the ball off any turnover, the Roosters. Fittler, lovely ball to Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon, strength and power. Great footwork, too strong, scores a wonderful try.
The reason he was able to come up with that try, Fitzgibbon, was because he ran a very good angle. Fittler juggled the football there, but Fitzgibbon runs back in towards the gap. Very good fend. They weren't going to stop him from there. He could see once he saw that try line, he was hungry for a try.
Swinging back, a lovely kick from Fitzgibbon. 16 points to 4.
They like throwing the ball wide, the Roosters, but I think some of them, they're going to start to run some angles and come back infield slightly.
Stephen Bell cutting back infield himself. He's 30 out from the Roosters line. Can the Melbourne Storm supply this time? Rorty comes to Robinson. Picked up there in the tackle of Crocker down low with Ricketson over the top.
Who's he on for?
Kearney takes it down to the 20. A couple of tackles left for them as Kearns is back out there. He bumps it forward. Swain waits at dummy half. He's got Orford at first receiver. Ross off his shoulder. A good hard flat pass once again to Rua, who hung onto it but only just. Last tackle. Rorty gives it to Swain. Kearney has a chance to score. That is too soft. An incredible piece of play. There could have almost been a penalty for an infringement around the play of the ball, and in effect the Roosters got up too quickly off their line and missed Kearney at point-blank range, and he just strolled across.
When the Storm have been able to control the football, they have looked dangerous. This time it was just too simple for Stephen Kearney, getting through the wing tackle and then the Benetti tackle going in under the post.
Well, the problem here, see a bit of a fumble there, dummy half, but Craig Wing came in. I don't know why he was coming in on the inside of Kearney, and of course slipped over, which made it a little bit easier for Kearney, but once Wing had missed him, it's going to be very difficult to stop him from scoring from there.
Orford from right in front reduces the margin once again to just 6 points. 16-10, the Roosters lead the Storm. We've had just over half an hour here at the football stadium as Kearney, try scorer, gets a breather for the moment, back onto the bench. Just over 4 minutes left before the break as Rorty takes it up toward the halfway line. 3 tries to 2 so far in this game. The Roosters with a 6-point lead. Swain looking up, counting the numbers, seeing where the Roosters are possibly short. Lange hitting it at speed, but taken in a front-on tackle very well by Singh. Orford now, forward pass, and looks forward and called as such. Just can't string it together at the moment. When they do, they look fairly dangerous because the Roosters' defence hasn't been that good.
Don't worry about that.
We'll see here that the Roosters' defence really forced that pass because they moved that quick outside, and Matty Orford realised he couldn't get the long pass in, so he's thrown the short one.
In you go.
Of course, went
In you go,
forward.
Locks. In you go, Locks.
The Roosters have it with Flannery. Clayton.
Don't drag him, don't drag him.
Taken by Moala. 10 short of the halfway line.
Same again, leave him there, brother.
Here's Wing looking up with Fittler. Players in motion again. Crocker through the hands of Singh to Minicello, but they all just kept sliding across the field, and the Melbourne Storm defence came with them. They needed somebody to straighten and draw a man. Wing comes back to Fittler. Now there's a chance. Singh pushed away from the Orford tackle. Minicello away to Crocker. Wrapped up in a ball and all tackle by Robbie Kearns. Ricketson. The Fittler, and now Wing again. Witters is out there. He had Flannery cutting back on the inside. Hegarty puts the kick in, but it's too deep. It is very much staccato stuff from both sides at the moment.
Well, they're looking to use the football, the Roosters. They're going from one side of the field to the other. Obviously, they feel there's a weakness in the Storm edge of the ruck defence. Sometimes they slide, sometimes they come up and in this Storm side, confusing the Roosters a little bit.
I think the problem, as we saw a couple of minutes ago with the Roosters throwing the ball wide, and I think you mentioned it, Warren, is that
Not much about that. Drag him forward and lost the ball then. Drag him forward and lost the ball.
no one's running angles. They're all running on a slight angle towards the sideline, and they're giving their wingers no opportunity. The last play there, where I think it was Shannon Hegarty, I just don't know why he put the kick in. There was plenty of tackles left.
I think that's why what's happening is the Storm, they're really mixing up their defensive patterns. I mentioned sliding and coming up and in. When you come up and in, you try and get around the defensive line. And when you slide, then you change angles. But the Storm defensive line is changing in certain areas of the footy field.
Good defence here from Winners. Forced the ball loose, but bounced up for Robbie Ross. And now Bell has it back to Ross. Robinson on the run around again to Ross. Guy going from dummy half. Short ball to Bell. Moala's into open space. The only man who could have tackled him was Ron Palmer, the Roosters trainer. They're in with a chance to tie it up.
How unusual Ronnie Palmer being on the footy field. He spends more time on there than the players, but it was great bit of work by the Melbourne Storm. They've done really well to come back after being 16-4 behind. They've controlled possession.
Just watch mate down there.
As the referee is having a yarn to Ronnie Palmer. But they've done really well to come back into this game. They've started to control the ball. They were turning the ball over too easily at the start of the game. Then the Roosters fell into the same traps, trying to score off every opportunity. And then it was Matt Geyer from a quick play the ball, going the short side, holding up the ball to Steve Bell. Bell's been terrific this afternoon, as has Moala. What about the step off the right? Clayton Flannery, I should say, had no chance.
That's a very good ball by Geyer here. You can see him just hold it up, drags in Fittler, and there was the gap was created. A nice one-handed pass out to the winger. Just too fast with the step. There's no way they're going to stop him. It's been a great performance, as you said, Laurie, by the Storm. They've settled themselves down a lot. They are controlling the football, and they are starting to find a few gaps out wide in particular, and also on the short sides. You'll find they'll throw the ball one way, they'll come in for one tackle, and then go straight back to the short side again, and that's where they're finding a lot of metres.
Orford just inside the 20, struck it beautifully, and he's tied this game up. On the stroke of half-time, Mark Murray also heads up the tunnel. We've got a 16 points all scoreline, and that will do us as far as action in this first half. 3 tries each. The Melbourne Storm scored first through Stephen Bell before the Roosters running 3 tries unanswered. At one stage led 16 points to 4, but the Storm have hit back. Tries to Kearney and Moala. And at the break, we are where we began, all tied up, but it's 16 points all at halftime.
Foxtel Rewards are giving away the ultimate prize for any music lover. A golden pass that gives you and a friend access to 5 of the best upcoming gigs. You'll be living like a rock star with this VIP experience. Visit foxtel.com.au/rewards now.
The kilometres you travel in a Skoda don't just measure distance. They measure life. Make every kilometre count. Skoda.
Incroyable. Superb. So unbelievably dry. Finish Rinse and Shine Aid delivers 2 times better drying on your plastics. So dry, you'll impress yourself. Magnifique.
It's Super Cheap Auto's Black Friday super sale. Even though we have no idea what Black Friday is it something to do with Thanksgiving? Or maybe Halloween? Who cares when everything's such great value? For some reason, this Black Friday, make it super at Super Cheap Auto.
Focus, focus. You gonna blink, champ? Wait, you can hear me? Of course, we're one and the same. The only thing here that's built different is the PointsBet app. Check this out. Use PointsBet's bet tracker on the NBA and see how your same-game multis are tracking live. I can't wait to blink again. Yeah, my eyes are burning.
PointsBet, built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
All I do is work. All I do is work.
Anaconda's blackout sale is on now. Spinifex Force and Eclipse 4-person tent now only $349. Save over $200 and save $50 on the Austral Getaway chair now $39.99. Play more and pay less without 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda.
Full service history and an extra 1-year warranty. Toyota certified. Pre-owned in a class of its own. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Go full sport with Code Sports. Go beyond the obvious with Australia's biggest and most experienced sports news team, bringing you the latest in-depth stories for all your sport. Now in the one place. Go full sport with Code.
That French chef of yours is really something pretty extraordinary.
Wrong show.
You're a woman succeeding in a mediocre man's world. We want to bring the French chef over to CBS.
What are you going to say? I feel like I'm a virgin all over again. Well, I was until a moment ago.
New season. Julia begins Thursday, 8:30 on Showcase or watch on demand.
Michael Crocker gets us back underway. Kickoff comes down to Robbie Ross, who gives it off to Kearns. 16 each here at the football stadium. Marcus by. Another hit up for the winger by Benetti. Swain now gives it to Rorty. Hit by both Witters and Ricketson. Here's Robinson. And good coming off the bench for the Storm. Orford. All about kicking. It goes to Geyer. Now Bowden. Back to Geyer. In behind them. Off the boot there of Junior Lange. Towed it forward. Minicello got there to clean up. And now they force him back towards the in-goal area. He's tackled just outside the 10-metre line, but they were racing him backwards at a great rate for a moment there.
Well, it was a confident start there by the Melbourne Storm. Straight off the kickoff. Looking to attack. Going right, wrapping with the football, then a last tackle. Looking as though they were going to kick the ball. And then trying to get the Roosters short. Good work by Guy getting the foot to the ball.
Here's Witters. Lovely ball around the corner to Fittler. He only has Robbie Ross to beat. Put the step on him. Stepped him out of his underpants to score underneath the black dots. 20 points to 16. Robbie still doesn't know which way he went.
Well, he's planted his feet, Robbie Ross, and got left behind. Brad Fittler, you knew it was coming. You knew he was going to step. And the position that Ross got himself into just allowed Fittler to work him over. You can see here, Fittler's got the ball. He's planning to step. Robbie Ross, just positionally when he came across, he gave him both shoulders to work on. Just made it too easy.
Well, this is a great ball by Dean Withers. We saw him do something like this early on in the first half. Fittler out on the outside, the nice little ball around the corner. But as you said, Laurie, he sized it up. He knew what he was going to do. Everybody, I think, in the ground knew he was going to step off the left, except Robbie Ross.
No problems for the second rower. And as simply as that, the Roosters once again grab the ascendancy. 22 points to 16. They want 6. Still plenty of time in this game. And they figure in a 2-point lead, if they kick the goal and then scored a converted try, wouldn't be enough. They tend to agree. Orford to his right-hand side. Finds Geyer, a gap in behind Fittler, who recovered only just in time, though. Ross. Geyer was pushed backwards in the play of the ball. Didn't give Ross much of a chance. Here's Orford. Short ball to Robinson. Well worked by the halfback. And they will tie this game up when Orford converts from right in front.
Two things about that try. One was the ball by Matty Orford. Just sensational, the double pump. And the angle by Peter Robinson. Just hiding, and then producing himself at the last moment. Just a sensational bit of play here by the halfback. Look at him go, shows it, pumps it, and then it just opens up, drags in 2 Roosters defenders. The ball and the run was too good.
Yeah, it was a great run and a very good ball. Of course, you got the two front rowers from the Roosters. Don't think that well up there, those front rowers.
Orford 2 of 3 today with the boot. Slots this one home without any effort. And once again, we're all tied up. It was 16 each at half-time. Now it's 22 points all. We've got 26 minutes left. They are in danger as Adrian Morley takes the field for the first time of the game. Back from a broken arm against the Raiders back in round 17. Of course, there's been a trend in recent weeks of teams who come off wins against the Broncos have then gone on to lose their next game. And they can't afford a loss. A win would give them some hope, of course, of maybe forcing their way into the top four, going to the finals and having a home field advantage for at least the first week of finals. But a loss would really put them in danger of once again, perhaps next week, dropping outside the top 8, and they do have a very tough run home. Howe brings it forward, met by Minicello. Marcus By. A game that seemingly lacks intensity. Suddenly, I'm sure, find some in this last 20 minutes.
Well, I think both teams realise that this could be the most important 20 minutes of their season. The Storm have got an opportunity to win today, keep alive for the race in the top 8. If they lose, they could find themselves 3-point adrift of that top 8. And the Roosters, I'm sure they would want to finish in the top 4. If they lose today, their run home would more than likely see them finish at the back half of the 8. And it's extremely hard to win the competition from there.
Here's Hegarty. Tackled at the halfway line. Wing. Fitzgibbon. Short pass for Singh. Plenty of numbers there, though, for the Melbourne defence. Here's Fitzgibbon almost getting away from the Kearney tackle. Just inside the Melbourne 30. Abatelafo from dummy half. He needs to get the ball away. He won't. He'll die with it on the last tackle from dummy half. That would send the coach to the aspirin cabinet. Maybe not for aspirins. Bowden preparing to come back on. Lange trying to put the shake and bake on the defence. Fitzgibbon wasn't falling for it. Williams away to Warford. Hasn't made a line break as such so far in this game. He's always a danger to do so, though. Swain running at them. Taken by Fittler. One more tackle from Melbourne in this set of 6, and Orford goes to the air. Minicello waiting for it. Never got to it. It comes down for Marcus By. 6 more tackles. Is it Kearney? Yes, it is 6 more tackles, but they won't need them. Kearney is in.
Righto. We're just checking to see whether it did come off anything else yellow. I thought it did, but that's the problem.
Marcus By, let's see it. Minicello goes up. Lange there is a factor. Well, he might have got the touch to it, but it certainly went backwards off his hands. It comes down to Marcus By. He had Stephen Kearney with him. He found a passage to the line. He had plenty of support there if he needed it. Stepped inside Ricketson. I'll take another look at it, but at first glance there seemed to be not too much doubt about the ball going backwards off the hand there of Lange.
I think you're exactly right, Warren. I think this will be a try. It does touch Junior Lange. And then it was on to Steve Kearney, stepping back inside Ricketson. This will be a try, and this will put the Storm in front for the first time.
Graham West again has a decision. He rules a try, and the Melbourne Storm have hit the lead. 26-22, they led by 4 after just 2 minutes of play. It's taken them all this time again to hit the lead. Orford from next to the uprights. Sticks this one across the black dot as well and brings up 200 points for the season. The Melbourne Storm fans are delirious. The few that have made the trip up from the southern capital Their side now lead by 6, 28-22. Been a terrific buy for the Melbourne Storm. Fitzgibbon, the deepest of kickoffs, came down to the fullback Robbie Ross. He has it just outside the Storm 20. Rodney Howe. Williams now, turning it back for Robinson. Kearns takes his turn. Runs to Talapo. Came up with the turnover on the last tackle. 40 possession from dummy half, and then the Storm go down the field and score through Kearney. A terrific kick here. It won't be a 40-20. They picked up some good meters. They're playing it, obviously, at the right end of the field. Matt Orford, as I said before, hadn't made a line break today, but he's really controlled things well in the second half.
Well, he might have made a line break, but he's very busy, as is Robbie Ross. They're great support runners, and they're very strong for their size. If you see Russell Bowden with a nasty knock to his nose. They've done well to come back into it at one stage. They were down 16-4 in the game. They are one of the best attacking sides in the competition. They can put points on. It's been defensively where they've let themselves down. They've changed their defensive patterns around in different styles, depending on what field position they're in here today, the Melbourne Storm, and it seems to be working.
The Roosters need some inspiration here. Still 20 minutes left, plenty of time for them. Late doubled over backwards in the tackle. Robinson there with the help of Swain. Not come out of it all that well either. He ran to the left knee there. He was in an awkward position when he was tackled, as Witters plays it now. Comes back to Craig Wing, stepping away once again on the last tackle. They're going to do it tough. They won't get the kick away. In fact, they will now with Minicello. From a long time to get it onto the boot. Oh, Robbie Ross under all sorts of pressure from Talapo. He only just got to it.
Well, there looked to be a communication breakdown between Ross and Moala, but eventually Ross got there. Confused the situation for the Melbourne Storm. Now the Roosters, you can sense that they feel this game is getting away from them. They're getting off the line hard. They're trying to force the Storm into error. The crowd is certainly starting to get right behind them now.
Here's Robinson. They stop him at the advantage line. Lomu there. Terrific tackle from the front rower. Orford as they work it. Kearney has put it down. Knocked behind him. Last tackle. Langy on the outside of the boot. Will get to it almost again. Fitzgibbon only just got there. Langy had to go via the cape to try and put a boot on it the second time and almost did it. Here's Flannery. Stopped by Williams. Inside his own 40. Minicello now goes from dummy half. Talapo. Put away to Wing. Fittler turns it back on the inside for Hegarty. Cutting back. Across the halfway line he goes. Talapo again. Lovely pass this time for Hegarty. Flannery's there also. Clayton back on his feet, standing. Gives it to Wing. He's got 4 or 5 outside him. Gives it to Ricketson. Sing for the line. They'll stop him though. He had support outside him. Minicello was unmarked and he came back on the inside. Wing, there still might be a chance. Falls over when he tried to grubber it. Play on. Singh has a chance and will score for the Roosters.
What we're doing here, we're just checking that. Wait, was a knock on. I don't think it was. Wait on, I don't.
Sean Hampstead wants to make sure that Craig Wing actually got a boot on it when he tried to put the grubber in. As though he did to the naked eye, but we'll make a bird of it here. The ball goes down. Actually, I want to see that again from perhaps a different angle.
A different angle. I'm sorry, it might show us. Here it comes. He drops the football straight to the ground. That's a no try.
Well, I think it's touch and go. maybe they'll rule that it hit the ground just before it hit his boot. But it does look like it has gone forward off his boot, but I think it may have, it's a bit like a field goal attempt.
Exactly
so
right.
What do they call there? Do they call that's play on, or that's a knock on?
You would think it would be a knock on, but we're going to have everything ruled out of it now as Graham West rules a try. And he's going to say that you can use a field goal type motion to grub the ball along the ground. And the Roosters are right back in it. They trail by just 2. I suppose if there is any doubt, then as we know, the benefit of the doubt has to go to the attacking side, and it certainly has gone that way on this occasion. Fitzgibbon, a big kick for the Roosters, and he slots it home. No mistake from the second rower, and once again we're tied up. It's 28 points each. It was 16 all at the break. It was 22 all not that long ago, and now it's 28 all. And no doubt we'll read and see plenty more of that particular play before the week is out, perhaps before the season is out for the Roosters. Could prove to be very critical. Wing from a standing start. The pedal down, but a line of jumpers in front of him, and he offloaded to Talipo. Lomu. It's 15 short of the halfway line as Flannery gets to dummy half and was tackled quickly. A good one as well by Robbie Kearns. Now Fittler. Again, a high kick, letting the chasing team come through. Robbie Ross took it on his own 20, gave it off, came this way to Moala, and then away to Bell. Good tackle down low was made by Cusack, or rather Fittler it was, on Moala. They need to force a mistake. The Melbourne Storm just can't afford to make one. Robinson. Is it away to Ross? Oh, he looked up and saw a launching Adrian Morley coming at him, and that has really rattled the fullback. It was almost at the same time as he caught the ball, he looked up and Morley just launched himself at him. Orford now kicking. He wants metres and will get them and find the touchline at the same time. Once again, it wasn't a 40-20. It will just give his side a time to get a breather, and Robbie Ross in particular needs one.
He was on the receiving end of a big hit there by Adrian Morley. Peter Robinson looking to give a two-plate, looking to create an opportunity on the edge of the ruck of the Roosters. The Melbourne Storm, they're chancing their arm. The Roosters have got all the right plays. They're numbering up.
Here's Wing from the base of the scrum. Singh goes from dummy half. Picked up maybe a metre. Talipo. Give it to Fitzgibbon. One of the best this afternoon for the Roosters, along with Peter Cusack, who's had another impressive game. Andrew Lomu taken down low. Right to Cecil Lavia out there now in 14. Injected into the game very late by Mark Murray. Wing. Fittler. Pass. Floating across to Trent Clayton. Taken beautifully by Moala. His defence has been a highlight today. And Hegarty on the last tackle. Play on, says Hampstead. Fittler gets the kick away. And it will bounce up nicely for Marcus Byers, it turns out. You think about trying to offload to Robbie Ross. Just can't afford to make a mistake at this part of the field.
They really need
again. Sorry, Laurie.
Sorry, Warren. They really need something special here as the Roosters are starting to get off their line. I'm sure that was a knockdown there by the Roosters player.
Play on for the moment. Sean Hampstead all the time looking for a word from his touch judge. He didn't get one. It is play on for the Roosters. Talipo. may well have been a hand in there, but for the moment, well, it is play on. Well, as we saw last week, they can go back with a number of tackles if they want to take a look at things now. Here's Matt Singh. He gets it away to Minicello, and he's in the corner. This could be controversial. He scores it. The Roosters are in front. 32 points to 28. But there's an important part of play to take a look at, and it came when the Roosters got possession.
Well, I dead set thought it was a knock on by Adrian Morley. We see Rorty carting the ball forward, an offload, then a knock down. Maybe he didn't play at it. And then from there, they got the ball, they went wide. Beautiful ball by Singh. Fitzgibbon does well to hold the football up and allows Singh to get on the outside of Lavia. Marcus Bai becomes a bit worried. He thinks he's got to go in and help him, and it just allows Singh to get the ball onto Minicello.
That was the thing, Fitzgibbon was able to hold the ball up, drag the extra man in, and then when Matty Singh had the ball, he was able to get those arms free. Once he got the arms free, Minicello was left unmarked.
Fitzgibbon struck it well, hooking back, it's there! Oh, what a kick! It fell over the crossbar, but that's all it had to do. 34 plays 28 now. The Roosters find themselves back in front again.
Well, in the scheme of things, that was a very important kick there by Craig Fitzgibbon. Doesn't take them out to a 6-point lead. The Storm have to score twice if they are to win this game in the last 10 minutes.
Morley plays it. Clayton plays it back to Benetti, or rather Hegarty it is. He's just short of the 30. Fitzgibbon. Fettler now. Good tackle by Richard Swain. He continues to churn them out. Wing. Kicking away from Robbie Ross. It will bounce inside the 20, and Robbie Ross is hobbled at the moment. Had no play on that. It was a 40-20, and he couldn't get across to make a play at it. Maybe only now he realises, but he is on one leg at the moment out there.
Well, he is struggling ever since he had that hit from Adrian Morley. Great kick there by Craig Wing. His kicking game is outstanding. He's got a long kicking game, probably the longest kick in the club.
Where's the lock?
He takes some pressure off Fittler on that last tackle.
There's someone out of there. All right, go in.
Tell you what, that was a very good kick. I think even if Robbie Ross was 100%, I still don't think he would have got to it.
You might be right. Here's Fettler. He will seal it for the Roosters. They're home today. They mob him. As well they might. He picks up a double, and it's 38 points to 28.
Well, it keeps them alive this season. They can snip a chance at the top 4. And Brad Fittler. Second try for the day. Off the scrum, bang off his lip. Matt Geyer straight through his tackle. It's extremely hard person to stop near the line, Fittler. His teammates come over to congratulate him. They realise that they've won this game. And it gives them a chance now, finishing in the top 4.
Well, it all come back down to the fact that it was a great kick by Craig Wing, give them possession again with the feed into the scrum, and that was just a simple missed tackle by Matt Geyer there. A little bit of a step off the left by Fittler, but really Geyer just missed him cold. Done very well now, the Roosters, playing with a lot more confidence.
With just over 7 minutes left, Craig Fitzgibbon will put them 12 in front. So now the Storm need 2 converted tries just to snatch a point. It's 40 points to 28. 2 quick tries to the Roosters. Busted this game open.
Bloody kicked it, fellas.
Orford won't go for the short one. Drives it long. Of course, we saw the Warriors come back from a worse position against the Bulldogs in Wellington earlier this season with less time on the clock. You would think it'd require something right out of the ordinary now for the Storm to get home today. Hegarty. Back for Craig Wing. He'll play it there. Here's Fitzgibbon. Step away from the Rua tackle. Flannery. Slip back for Crocker. Look for either Fittler or Wing to kick and look for the sideline. Surely you would think to use up the clock here. Comes to Wing. He has Fittler outside him. Puts the step on Stephen Bell into open space again. It's Mark 2 for Robbie Ross, but he can't make a tackle this time. It still comes alive. Here's Lomu giving it away for Crocker. They swarm all over him as well. I was waiting for Fittler to put the step on Robbie Ross for the second time this afternoon. It was slightly cumbersome the way they got there, but they got there all the same, and they will get the 2 points. 44-28, they lead the Storm now.
And it's been their support play that's been terrific. As you can see, Clayton congratulating Crocker. Fittler really come into his own in the last couple of minutes. Terrific step, again left foot around Stephen Bell. And then look at the troops coming. Wing over the top. Lomu was there, and then Crocker backing up to grab a double also. They're very excited, the boys.
Well, it's a great step by Brad Fittler, but I thought he'd blown the opportunity. He had Shannon Hegarty on his left-hand side, unmarked. Chose to throw it back inside the wing. The fortunate thing for the Roosters, they had plenty of support players there. It's just a case of catch and pass. Crocker, a well-deserved try.
Brad Fittler may not have been in the best form of his career in 2001, but what a factor he still is. Here's Fitzgibbon, looking for 500 career points in first grade. And he has them as well. 46-28 now. Just a moment ago, it was 28 points all. They've scored 3 converted tries in a matter of, well, 6 or 7 minutes.
It's amazing the game today. You get so many games on the weekends. Their sides are scoring in excess of 30 points. And even the opposition that loses a game are scoring around the 20 mark. Normally, years ago, if you scored 20 points in a game, it was good enough for a win.
Those days are long gone, aren't they? As I said last night, don't mind the high scoring, as long as the players of the quality that we saw last night between the Tigers and the Knights. Can't say the same of this game today. Fans have certainly seen plenty of tries. 4 doubles have been scored today. Kearney has a double for the Storm. Crocker, Fittler and Minicello have also crossed for a brace. Wing weaves his way into a gap again. Lomu running, gives it off to Hegarty. They're inside the 20. He was desperate to keep it alive. They must go left. They do. Fittler knows. Wing runs. He will get across the line. Can he get it down? Yes, he can. It's an avalanche of points. They've cracked the half-ton.
Just checking the touch and goal line. He definitely got it down.
Well, what an amazing transformation this game's had in the last 10 minutes. At one stage, the game was in the balance, and now the Roosters look like putting 50 on the board and going to a 20-point lead. If he's got the ball down, that will be a try. He's got it down by there. Try.
Well, as you say, Laurie, at one stage, the game was in the balance, and even the Storm early in the second half looked like they might be the side that was going to get away with a victory. And now we see the Roosters have come back with tremendous form. You see it made official now, the try. But, and they've scored 50 points, possibly 52.
Everybody's dancing now at the football stadium. There is concern for one of the Melbourne Storm players back here, just inside the 20-metre line. I was going to say initially that it was Junior Lange. It's been laying there since before the try was scored, and in fact they will bring the Medicab out. See if we can pick it up here in the lead up to the try. There was, in fact, it could well be Fafita Moala. In fact, it will be Fafita Moala who's down. Slightly concussed, does Fafita Moala. He's had a terrific game as well. He gets a good hand from this, obviously, predominantly Roosters crowd this afternoon. And Crocker from wide out, just inside this western touchline. Looking away, the breeze won't straighten it up. It remains 50 points to 28. Seems as though the Roosters, if you just tuned in, have done this very easily, but it has been anything but. Scored 4 tries unanswered in the last 10 minutes of this game. While they'll move to 25 points on the premiership table and keep their chances of finishing in the top 4 alive, they certainly need plenty of work if they're to take on the likes of the Eels in the run home. There's the Warriors also coming up. They have 3 very tough ones to finish with. But at the moment they can smile. Fittler, lovely pass to wing out in front of him. Crocker running onto it, flips it back on the inside. Clayton is there but lost it. Kearney comes up with it. He has scored 2 tries this afternoon. But he can't drag him to ground.
Hands off. Hands off.
Stephen wants to give him one to go on with as well, just to remember him by. Melbourne Storm still can't find the formula to come up with a win in Sydney this year. Off the hands of Rua. Bowden cleans up for them. Just outside the 20. Swain. Comes to Stephen Bell. He has Bowden with him. Quick hands from Williams through the hands of Geyer. Orford couldn't hang on to it. And that'll see us out here this afternoon at the football stadium. The Melbourne Storm now in real danger. They're missing out on the top 8. Still to come, of course. They have the Raiders, the Warriors, and the Panthers. And they need to win all 3 of those to make the finals this year. Singh to Minicello. Have they got one more for the fans? Play on for the moment. Ross gets there. Couldn't come up with it. 6 more tackles. Wing gives it to Dallas Hood. He had players everywhere and trying to put a step on Marcus By. The siren sounds, though, to end it. And at full time, the Roosters have beaten the Melbourne Storm 50 points to 28.
They all played their part here this afternoon. And in the end, the Roosters were too good for this Melbourne Storm outfit.
Number of scorers as far as tries go for the Roosters. Minicello 2, Crocker 2, Fittler scored 2. Fitzgibbon, Singh and Wing also crossed. Fitzgibbon 6 goals, Crocker 1. For the Melbourne Storm, Kearney a double, Bell, Moala and Robinson also crossed. And Orford kicked 4 goals. 50 points to 28 at full time here at the Sydney Football Stadium. And as they walk delightedly from the field and wave to the fans here, on behalf of Laurie Daly, Brett Kenny and all the Fox Sports crew, I'm Warren Smith. Thanks for joining us. And for now, it's goodbye from the Sydney Football Stadium.